Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
There you go. Of course, you grew up in Texas, so you know all about the landscape down there.
Well, it'll take you 4 days to drive from Texarkana to El Paso. That's how big
true.
the state
That's
is.
not true. That's just not true.
Okay, 24 hours.
I could see that.
Okay.
I'm not sure I buy that, but I could see that.
That's a little more doable.
5 on the clock. Pargo drives, hangs, hits.
That was Purdy.
Miller at the buzzer, short. Big half for the Zags. They lead it 53-19. And Tony Harvey, I tell you, he cannot get too upset with his team. This is the 10th game that they've been on the road.
I know. And not used to the 30 inches of snow outside getting in yesterday, right?
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And having to move around town in that big bus. Gonzaga ends that first half on an 18-2 run. They lead it 53-19, led by Heitfeld's 15. Downs and Bolden each with 11. Gonzaga shooting 65%, and they're up big. Halftime, straight ahead.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs were red hot tonight from the start, out to a 20-4 lead over Texas Southern. Ira Brown with a flush, and he isn't the only Zag that is putting on a show tonight. 53-19, Gonzaga leads this when we look at the first half stats. A little bit lopsided, I'd say. Gonzaga Bulldogs absolutely dominating the Texas Southern Tigers. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Zalumis alongside Francis Williams, and welcome to our College Hoops Northwest halftime coverage. Francis, Gonzaga came ready to play tonight. As I mentioned, we had the 20-4 run, the alley-oop jam, an array of threes. What impressed you the most?
Well, you know, when you can hold your opponent to 19 points, shoot 65% from the field, go 9 for 11 from 3, and have 5 different guys make a three-pointer, there's not much that you can really say that they didn't do well in the first half. Obviously, a lesser opponent with Texas Southern, but coming off the loss to Arizona, you see the Zags trying to execute their offense, move the basketball, get everyone involved, and playing with a lot of intensity. So a good half of basketball for Texas Southern, although it is against a lesser opponent. You're impressed by the fact that they came out and played hard and didn't play down.
Now, are you surprised by how well they're doing? We knew it, would be a little bit lopsided, but this is a blowout, basically.
No, I'm not surprised. I think Craig was very accurate in saying this is their 10th straight game on the road. It's their second trip out to the West Coast. So Texas Southern has to be worn down just a little bit. But again, Gonzaga's a good team, and they're coming off a loss, so they were going to be ready to roll tonight.
All right, well, in our pregame show, our keys to the game were to show up and warm up. Gonzaga obviously showed up in the first half. From what we've seen, what are the keys to close this one out?
Well, I think they just have to continue to play with a lot of intensity and not be content with the fact that they have this huge halftime lead. I think that's very, very important. Keep playing good defense and just play a complete 40-minute game. And then lastly, drive home safely.
Drive home safely. All right, well, coming up tonight on FSN, after the conclusion of this game, we're going to replay the matchup, of course. But going back to this matchup, with what you've seen here tonight, do you think it's going to be just as bad?
No, I really don't. No, it'll probably stay about the same.
Okay, all right. Well, stick around for Greg Heister and Craig Elo calling all the action. It's 8th-ranked Gonzaga dominating Texas Southern in the first half. They're leading 53-19. As I said, we are going to repeat this game after the conclusion of this game. So we have all basketball all night right here on FSN.
Leading at the half by 34 points, and as you might expect, a lot of the numbers back that up as we take a look at the Christmas spirit inside McCarthy Athletic Center here tonight. I know, I just feel good, Craig, because I feel as though we're offering a reprieve from all that shoveling that's been going on around the inland Northwest, so we thank you for that. All right, let's take a look at the numbers now, and of course, Gonzaga just shooting the lights out.
Oh, no kidding. And what did Dorothy say when she clicked her heels? There's no place like home. Well, the Zags are doing that, just filling it up from outside. 9 of 11 from three-pointers, including Ira Brown. But here's the guy If you don't get out there and guard him, he's 6'11". He'll knock it down on you. And then Matt Bolin had just an absolutely fun half for the Zags. Matt did it all. A couple of steals, got a couple of assists, a few rebounds, and even scored a few baskets.
Yeah, Gonzaga with 3 players in double figures. And Ira Brown, of course, giving everybody the opportunity to get up out of that seat. Matt Bolin with the steal, the look up, and Ira Brown with another highlight. Gonzaga up big, 53-19 at the half. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center in Spokane, Washington. Gonzaga leading Texas Southern by 34 at the half. Greg Heister and Craig Elo. And Craig, Josh Heitfeld scored just 6 points against the University of Arizona in that loss. He's been challenged, and it's obvious he's responded tonight.
Oh, no question. He came out very offensive-minded. Scored 15 first-half points on a plethora of shots, including a three-pointer from outside. Couple of free throws. I think he was very aggressive with the ball, and I think his teammates were actually looking for him. And there you saw him run the floor again, what he does so well that I don't think any other GU big guy that we've seen in the past runs as well as he does.
For one stretch that was nearly 7 minutes long, Heitfeld scored Gonzaga's all 11 points, so he had a really nice stretch in that first half. Gonzaga, the entire team shooting it well at 66%. Turnovers. I think those numbers are reversed. It's actually 4 for Gonzaga, 7 for Texas Southern. So they're taking care of the ball.
Well, and that's the whole point, is that Zags need to turn those points or turnovers into points, and we saw them do that tonight.
The energy is back. It must be time to start the second half when we come back. And welcome back. As we said earlier, finals were canceled today on the campus at Gonzaga. When I say canceled, some were literally canceled. Others were given to the students in an online fashion, so they still had to take the test. Others were canceled. But the fact of the matter is, finals are officially over, Craig, so it is a night of celebration. Their Zag basketball team is home. The first semester is over. It's on to the holiday break now for many of these students, and this is who remains. And we were not sure, because of this winter storm as we begin the second half, of how many people were going to come to the McCarthy Athletic Center tonight. But I would bet there's over 5,000 of the 6,000 that can fit into this building.
I was going to say, this is the first time I've been in the building with a basketball game other than Dan Dickow's charity game where every seat has not been full.
As we have a whistle inside, this will be on number 3, Matthew Miller. It was Henderson with the miss at the other end for Texas Southern. And it'll be Gonzaga basketball on the inbound. Damian Henderson getting the start for Texas Southern instead of DeAndre Hall. The starters are the same for Gonzaga to start the second half.
I'm actually looking at the minutes here. DeAndre Hall is one of the better players for Texas Southern. Only played 6 minutes. If there's not an injury that we didn't know about, he only had 1 basket. But DeAndre Hall has started all 8 games for Coach Harvey. Played 29 minutes, shooting the ball pretty darn well and averaging 14 points.
We just had a stat slid to us by our stat genius Brock here that explained the fact that Hall had scored 11 points in his first several games, and since then down to like 6. So yeah, obviously Coach Harvey not